everyone, and welcome to Paranormal at Dusk's first episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, then this is the first video, and if you're listening to the podcast, welcome to Paranormal Podcast at Dusk, where we talk all things ghostly, eerie, and spooky. This episode is going to be a small introduction as well as explaining what this channel and podcast is all about. So my name is Shania. I'm from New Brunswick, Canada, and I love all things paranormal. Whether it be ghosts or supernatural things or horror movies or spooky makeup, I love it all. My home is Halloween all year round. My heart is Halloween all year round. And I just thought it was time I share this love with anyone else who might feel the same way. So, the podcast is going to be more on the side of talking about either ghost stories that I myself have experienced or people that I know, like family members and friends, or stories that have been sent into me, crossing my fingers, hoping that people will send some to me. If you do have some ghost stories or paranormal, unexplainable stories that you would like to share with me, that you're okay with me sharing here on this channel, please email me. The email address is paranormalatdusk@gmail.com. And I'll leave that in the description as well in case you would like to find it again. So like I said, the podcast is going to be talking ghostly stories, but not just sharing ghost stories, like also discussing like up and coming horror movies or the classics or, you know, talking anything Halloween or spooky related. We're even going to have a small series discussing different types of cryptids and the folklore and all that fun stuff. So definitely keep an eye out for that. It is going to be so fun. Of course, I will post all of these podcast episodes on YouTube as well, so that you can watch the video if you're more of a video watcher like myself. The whole point of having a YouTube channel is because I would like to share some paranormal investigation videos with all of you. Yes, you heard that right. I do ghost hunting. I know it's a little out there. If you're not a believer, that's totally fine too, because I do also share like dark histories about the places I go to investigate. So it's not just about the ghosts itself. I talk about lots of the history and stuff like that. So if you're more of a skeptic, you're not sure what you believe, or you are definitely not a believer in the paranormal, that's totally fine. There's still something here that may interest you. So let's talk about ghost hunting. It's so strange. I never even considered doing that. In fact, I didn't even really watch paranormal investigation channels or anything like that until an incident occurred. So, me and my cousins, we went to the Algonquin in St. Andrews, New Brunswick, here in Canada. We didn't go there with the purpose of ghost hunting. We went there because we were rehearsing for a flash mob style surprise dance for my wedding. So we wanted to like do a little trip out of it. We went to a hotel in a historic town, and yeah, we spent the time learning a dance. But we knew it was haunted, and yes, we have always been interested in the paranormal because we've experienced little bouts of paranormal activity throughout all of our lives, like throughout all of our childhood. When we walked into our building, there was a gentleman working there, and we asked about the pool hours, and come to find out, we started chatting with him, and he let us know that we were actually staying in one of the original buildings, which was super cool. The history of that place is that it did burn down at one point and they rebuilt, but there are still some parts of it that remain from when it originally was up. So that was super interesting to begin with. But then we started experiencing really strange phenomena, and my cousins decided to pull out a ghost app, and I won't spoil everything that happened because we are going to do a podcast episode with my cousins here so that we can discuss everything that happened together. But yeah, so we experienced some really fascinating and intriguing paranormal activity while we were there. So because we had that ghost hunter app out, and we were like we were trying to communicate with whatever or whomever wanted to speak with us, that really gave us the itch to start investigating. But yeah, that's where the need or the desire to investigate these paranormal locations came from. It's because we happened to go there and started playing around and realized that we could really connect with whatever's out there. So I am also an author. I write paranormal and dark fantasy, lots of fun stuff, Greek mythology, witchcraft, end of the world, yada yada. All the good stuff wrapped into one. But with that comes a lot of travel because I go to book signing events. So that is what has allowed me to go and visit other places throughout North America and do some paranormal investigating. Yes, a lot of the times I am alone, which is a little freaky, I won't lie. I definitely have to be more careful when I'm alone because I don't trust the streets of anywhere. So, yeah, I have to be very careful in what I do. So I'm not like out at night by myself walking through graveyards and busy streets. But I am definitely trying to book hotels that are haunted. That's the best thing. If you know of a hotel that's haunted near you, let me know. That's the easiest way for me to do investigations when I'm by myself. And then there's paranormal investigative tours and haunted walks, which I do love. I love that stuff. And then I will go to places that I can reach during the daytime. So, I'll talk about the history of places and take some video. My solo investigations are a little less scary unless I'm in a hotel, because then I can really dive into like using my equipment and stuff and not worry about my safety. Safety with real human beings that are alive and on this plane, I should say. I can't say how safe I am talking to ghosts. And then I also invite people to come with me on investigative trips. So I have my husband, Carlo. He comes with me whenever we can grab him. He's a tattoo artist and very, very busy. So he comes with me once in a while on these trips. And we both absolutely adore anything creepy or haunted and ghostly. So it's really fun to have him with me. And then, of course, I do some investigating with my cousins, Megan and Jacqueline. They're also my best friends, coincidentally. Pretty much everybody I hang out with is my family, so that's great. But yeah, so Megan and Jacqueline will definitely join me on some adventures. We have a few coming up real soon that I'm so excited to share with everybody. And then I'd also like to steal my brother, Justin. He is joining me for podcast episodes, but I'm hoping that I can bring him to a haunted location at some point too. And then I'd also really love to take my grandmother, I call her Mimea, Teresa. She is very much a spooky woman. That's where I got my love for the ghostly stuff, is from my grandmother. I would absolutely love to take her somewhere, maybe an overnight trip to do some paranormal investigations. I'll definitely be inviting her over for some podcast episodes. Man, we could do 100 episodes with her, with all of her stories. My mère grew up in a haunted house. And when I say haunted, I mean truly haunted. Not something that just came and went. Like, it was always present in their house growing up, and she has a boatload of siblings that all experienced things as well, and her mother experienced things, and there's just so much just within that time period of them living in that house, never mind all of the witchy intuition she has and decided to pass along to me. Now when I start talking about intuition, maybe you're not a believer in that stuff, so perhaps you're just gonna think I'm full of baloney, and that's totally fine. But I fully, truly, wholeheartedly believe that I have a ridiculous amount of intuition. It's bonkers. I have so many friends and relatives who can testify to this. I really have predicted like the most like absurd things, and like things that aren't even talked about, like like something that hasn't even been on anyone's mind. And typically my predictions come in dreams, so I will dream about something, and yes, I dream all the time, but when it is a prediction or I know it's supposed to mean something, I wake up with that gut feeling of like one specific thing was so important, And my friends and family know that if I'm calling them, or sometimes you'll have seen me text my dad at 3 a.m. before because I had this dream that told me he was going to be in danger. Like, and something actually happened. Like, oh, it's unreal. Like, I can't not believe in it. And maybe that's just coincidence. Maybe some folks will believe it's coincidence, or that I'm just woohoo, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I predicted some unimaginable things. But yeah, when I talk about intuition and, ghostly encounters, I myself have had them all my life. I always say I lived in a haunted house. However, the house wasn't haunted, I was. From the age of 10 to 16, I was thoroughly haunted. From seeing red eyes in my window to seeing black masses in the corner of my room. I have had some really disturbing experiences, and my family, for the most part, mocked me or teased me about it and didn't believe me at first. And then the last few years that we were there, they started seeing it as well. And my dad was always like, I wouldn't say a full-out non-believer, but very much a skeptic. He'll definitely explain his beliefs and everything during our podcast episode together. But yeah, he was not really a believer. And then on one fateful night, my mom, myself, my brother, my grandmother, and my aunt all took a trip to Maine. And so my dad was home alone, and he encountered an experience that came from my bedroom, which is where all of the hauntings were happening. So, do with that what you will. But yeah, I think those experiences opened up my mind and opened up my senses to the paranormal world. And that's when I started being able to sense it in other locations. So, traveling, for example, as a young teen, I would say like, oh no, this place is haunted. And it would be like a brand new, like clean looking hotel, things like that. And I would warn people like, hey, I know this place is haunted. And I mean, I'll have those people on with me on the podcast and we can talk about it so that you can see that like, it wasn't just me experiencing this stuff. As soon as I said it, the activity started. It's unreal, the things that I have seen and witnessed and experienced. So this podcast, as well as this YouTube channel, is giving me the chance to discuss all of these experiences, not just mine, but also family members and friends. And hopefully, if you decide to send out some stories too, we can talk about yours as well. So, in honor of this being a spooky podcast, I would like to end every podcast episode with a spooky story. Whether you believe or not, I hope this is entertaining. So, I think we should start with a story from where it all began, the Red House. So this house was actually built by one of my cousins, one of my family members, and it was built on land that was owned by my ancestors. So as far as I know, like my family has had that land for a really long time. Of course, it's possible that there could have been others like before them, but from what I understood, it was trees and then it was farmed and yada yada. So yeah, there's no reason that we know of for the land itself to be haunted, but you never know. I think the most significant physical thing that happened was one night, Justin and I had Nintendo DS's, and we would go in Picto Chat, which was like a little chat room for anyone who had like a Wi-Fi connection. So you could go chat. So we would turn it on at night because we weren't allowed to be up. Like we had bedtimes and stuff like that, and we weren't allowed to have our devices, but we'd hide them under the pillow, and we'd open Picto Chat and we'd chat and say, do you want to play Mario or whatever? And so it was usually, I think it was only Mario that we had, that you could like connect devices and play like on separate devices, which was like a really big deal for us back in those days. It was like 2010, early game days. So me and my brother would often do that. And so what we would do is we'd get up in the night and we'd creep into, we were right next to each other. Our bedrooms were one next to the other. So if one of us would want to do that, we'd get up, tiptoe. Our parents slept downstairs, so they usually didn't hear us. We slept with our doors closed. We'd open the door a crack and say, "Are you awake? Do you want to go play Mario? Go on PictoChat," or whatever. So one night I'm in bed and my door opens, and I mean, we slept with our doors closed, and my doorknob opened and swung open. And I thought, oh, well, that's weird that he didn't talk to me, but he must have just he wants me to go to him. So I get up and I'm I'm all excited. I got a smirk. I'm excited because we're going to sneak and be awake and play video games. So I'm tiptoeing and I get to my brother's room and he's passed the hell out, drooling on his pillow. Sorry, Justin. He was fully passed out, and then I'm like, what the hell just opened my bedroom door? So now I'm freaked out, and I'm budging his shoulder to see if he's trying to pull a prank on me and be like, oh, surprise, I was pretending to sleep. Okay, no, he was fully passed out, drool on the pillow, and my parents were downstairs. It's midnight at this point. Nobody is up. So I tiptoe back to my bedroom and I close the door. And the door proceeds to open again. And I mean, I got my eyes wide open and I'm not half asleep. I just got up and checked on my brother. I am fully awake, staring at the door, and the doorknob twists open, opens this much, and slams shut. I have never, as a I had never been so scared in my life at this point. I, as a child does, put my blankets over my face and I'm trembling. And I'm thinking in my head, I need to yell for my parents to come upstairs. I don't know what they were going to do against a ghost, especially a poltergeist who can open doors. But I was thinking, I gotta scream for mom and dad. So, and I'm, nothing's coming out. I'm it's not coming out at all. It's not even a whisper of the word. So I'm laying there struggling, trying my best to say the word mom, and I just can't. So I finally gained the courage to move the blanket from my eyes, and I'm slowly doing it. And then I finally peer up at a woman. There was fully an apparition of a woman with long hair, and I couldn't hear her, but to me, she was mouthing the words, "Help me." And it was a blip. It was literally a second's worth. And I understand that it could have been my mind tricking me, seeing something because I was thinking, oh, there's something there. And maybe I was imagining something frightful, right? Of course, I still believe it's possible that I was imagining it, but my gosh, did it ever look and feel real in that moment. Either way, the door was not imagined. I saw it 2 times. The first time thinking it was my brother. The doorknob twisted open and the door fully swung open. So I went to check on my brother. He was asleep. I closed my door. It opened again, just maybe 4 or 5 inches open, and then slammed shut. And so, ever since that night, I slept with a paint can, keeping my door open. Because I didn't want to experience that again. I didn't want to have that fright of seeing the door open. I mean, that really freaked me out. That was a physical manifestation. And, oh man, yeah, that was the first, real solid poltergeist activity I saw with my bare eyes. Because yes, of course, I experienced it, a knock on my window. Well, I didn't see a fist knock on my window. I just heard it. My pen would fall off the bed, but I wasn't there to see it fall off the bed. My glasses would go missing. But of course, again, I wasn't there to see the glasses go away and come back. But the door, I was there. My eyes were wide open. They were not closed. I was watching the door, terrified, and watched it open, twist. The doorknob twisted. And this is a new house. My cousin built it. I think the house was 4 years old. I think he lived there for 4 years and then sold it to us. So the only person to live there before us was my cousin. my mom's cousin. So, like, it was a brand new house, no reason for the door to open, everyone was asleep. And so, that is the first real physical proof that I saw some kind of poltergeist activity. Like, yes, I did experience other things, but I didn't see it happen. But that, I saw it happen. I've had so many experiences, and I'm really looking forward to sharing all of my past stories with you, and also sharing like video footage of paranormal investigations with you. That is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to start posting, and I hope you enjoy the adventure. I think that about wraps up this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I know there are probably only 2 people watching. Hi, Mimea. Whether I find my people through this and we can all experience and share these journeys together or not, I think it's just going to be really fun. I am looking forward to it. Please note that I am not a professional. I'm just doing this out of sheer curiosity and enjoyment. So take whatever I say with a grain of salt. I'm not an expert in anything. On the next episode of Paranormal at Dusk, I will be taking you along with me for a ghost hunting excursion. So if you're not already subscribed on YouTube, that is where you will find the episode. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. The YouTube channel is where I'll be posting absolutely everything. And of course, if you'd rather just listen to the podcast, you can find it at Paranormal Podcast at Dusk. If you haven't already, please like this video if you enjoyed it, of course. It just lets me know that this is something that you want to see more of, and I really hope that you do. I hope you like this. I hope I get to keep sharing stories with everybody. Thank you so much for listening to Paranormal Podcast at Dusk, or watching me on Paranormal at Dusk on YouTube. It was an absolute pleasure getting to talk about all things ghostly, and I'm so excited for the next one. Thanks for watching. Happy haunting!